And so a word I might use is more attainable housing. And so housing is driven by supply and demand. When you don't have enough houses in the market, people, and I'm talking now specific to, let's look at renters as just one example. If the only apartment complex in town isn't very good and is really expensive, you're going to live there anyway because it's the only place you can live. It's the only place there is. Let's say you have a really rundown bad apartment complex, and then all of a sudden a new apartment complex opens up next to it, and it's nicer and it's well maintained and it's got new amenities, and maybe it's just a little bit cheaper. Well, guess what? You're going to move there, and then that is going to force the owners of that other complex to maybe lower their prices a little bit. And so the market is going to, when you have adequate supply, you don't have the competition, you see those rates levelize a little bit. And so I think that's why it's so important to think about one of the ways to get out of this housing crisis is so that we have more of it. It also, like many college towns and like almost every single SEC college town specifically, the university has a really significant role to play in this. Because if you think about it, only, for the most part, only the freshmen live on campus. There are some exceptions, but the university can house, I think, around 6,000 students. With 33,000 students, where do the rest of them go? Some maybe are permanent full-time Fayetteville residents. Maybe they live at home with mom and dad. Maybe they're non-traditional students that have lived in the community for a long time. But the bulk of them are going to rent as close to the university as they can find, and they're going to take up all of what is called naturally occurring affordable housing, or NOAA is the acronym for that. These are older homes. These are homes that ideally would be starter homes for people purchasing a home for the first time, or for families to rent, that when they are taken up by students, they are then off the market. And so understanding the piece of that puzzle that is student housing is really, really critical for the whole city, whether you are a student or not. It impacts you and your ability to find adequate housing.